Maryland freshman Derik Queen was not as good defensively, and that's part of the challenge here, I think. So I would love your perspective on Derik Queen. I would say he is the most popular choice from what I've seen from the Wizards fan base of guys that will be likely available to them at 6. There have been some rumblings, from draft analysts that he's slipping a little bit maybe with people because of a bad combine. I wouldn't take a whole lot of stock in the combine with him because it literally just validated what you saw on the court. I think that you're not drafting this guy for crazy explosiveness. It's everything else he does. So I think if you're taking Derik Queen in this range, you're just really betting on the things he does well and being able to add to that and not focusing on, maybe the things that you see as limitations.
Yeah. So I have him rated, I think, a lot lower than it sounds like Wizards fans have him. I wonder how much of that is because he went to Maryland and they're hopeful that the local guy can.
And he played with Bub some growing up, that'd be cool and fun.
Interesting. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. I mean,
sell some T-shirts at the very least. So
I'm trying to just skim across here. There's the things that are popping out to me are like the 20% on threes and not very many attempts. Only looks like about 30 or so this over the course of the season.
Yeah.
He's not really a particularly impressive rebounder for his position. There's not much playmaking. More turnovers than assists. Also, not many steals, not many blocks. And then you combine all that with, as you say, the bad combine where he graded out into, I would call it the penalty area in Yoda for agility and vertical. So, I talked about the bonus that I give for draft position, draft being top 10 in the consensus draft. And he has that bonus, and I still have him basically at the bottom of the first round.
Yeah. I thought that might be the case.
In the 20s. So usually I have anywhere from 25 or so, 20 to 25 first round grades on players. And he's the last one in this draft at 23.
So I'm not quite that low on him. I am lower than Wizards Twitter. Some of this I was assuming is maybe just because I overanalyze a lot of the Maryland players because I watch every minute that they play as a collegiate athlete. And sometimes that's a little too much for draft purposes. But in high school, he started out here in the Baltimore area and was an insanely productive scorer. Actually shot the ball reasonably well from the high school line early in his career. Went to Montverde Academy, played with Cooper Flagg, and literally everyone else in the first round here, essentially. Liam McNeely, Asa Newell, all these other guys. Rob Wright, that's going to BYU next year, that was good at Baylor this year. Like, loaded team. And developed this weird hitch, especially from the free throw line, and was just like a catastrophically bad free throw shooter toward the tail end of his high school career. Somehow totally overhauled that between summer of senior year of high school and freshman year at Maryland, which led to him being a pretty decent free throw shooter this year. He's got good touch overall around the rim. And late in the year, a lot more threes started to go in. And the misses early in the year were hideous. Like, he was barely hitting rim. He was hitting side of the backboard and, hits 2 threes in an NCAA tournament game that looked really smooth. Like, so I suspect he will be able to shoot a reasonable percentage at times. So I think if it works, you're just banking on a grab and go center that he'll be the best ball handler of the bigs at his position. He does make some zippy passes, but also gets out over his skis a little bit where you see some of those turnovers. I just don't know what he does defensively. Like, that's what I worry about. And to your point, like, everyone thinks the Sarr pairing works well with him because he'll be the rebounder that makes up for Sarr. I don't think he's a good enough rebounder to be the one that evens that out. Like, he's solid, but I think he's not huge, right? Like, he's probably 6'10" in shoes. So you need him to be so elite, like at ending defensive possessions, I think is his way to contribute defensively. And
also I'd point out that, he's at,
9 rebounds a game.
Yeah. Well, I do the 11.8 rebounds per 40. Sarr was at 10.
Yeah.
So before he came to the NBA.
Right.
And I believe he was above 10 per 48, whatever. I mean, sorry. I understand the concern about his rebounding, but I don't think that's much of a concern, to be honest.
Yeah. He's a guy I would give a fun bonus to. One, he's a super likable kid. And two, when it's working, it is fun as shit to watch. A guy grab a rebound, go coast to coast, like cross another guy up, and then like Euro step through the lane and like hit like a reverse layup. And you're just like, wait, are you allowed to do that as a college center? So,
Yeah.
there's some cool things there. But like I said, you're really betting on the things that working, I think.